question I'm sure we're all asking, since most of you don't seem to be involved in social media, is it a fad? Or is it the biggest shift in consciousness since the Industrial Revolution? Next slide, please. So as of now, Generation Y has outnumbered baby boomers, which is a big deal. 96% of Generation Y is on a social network. So more and more people are getting on, and the future way to connect, and actually the present way to connect, is mostly online. Facebook actually topped Google as of the first week of this year as the most visited site in America. So Facebook is getting more and more advertising money than Google is, and they're Google's biggest competitor. So if you think Google's a big deal, Facebook's even a bigger deal. Also because it's more social and people get recommendations from friends. Even ads worked as recommendations. If you like an ad, it'll show up for a friend of yours who fits the same description that the ad is meant to target, and it'll say, your friend likes this. And most people, I have the stat somewhere else, I'm sorry I have the number, but the majority of people will make purchasing decisions, many kind of decisions, based on what their friends do. So we're social animals. Next slide, please. Thank you. Social media has overtaken porn as the #1 activity on the web. That is a good thing. And it was responsible for 1 out of 8 marriages in the US last year.
Whoa, that's
so.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Shidduch #1. Shadchan #1. Next slide, please. Radio and television, it took 38 and 13 years respectively. Radio 38, television 13 years to reach 50 million viewers. Next slide, please. And Facebook added 100 million users in less than 9 months. So it spreads like wildfire. Next slide, please. If Facebook were a country, it would be the 4th largest country. And for all intents and purposes, it is a country, and it's just smaller than the United States. Next, please. In terms of education, online education, basically I'm here to prove to you why everything's happening online, and it's happening well online. So in a study in 2009 revealed that on average, online students outperformed those receiving face-to-face instructions. I don't know how well they tested for cheating, but one in... What's that?
They have lousy teachers in the school system.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other discussion, especially in Allentown, but 1 in 6 higher education students are enrolled in online curriculum. Next, please. Sorry about that. 80% of companies use LinkedIn as their primary tool to find employees. LinkedIn, I think it's, well, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter are the big 3 of social media online. LinkedIn, if you look at it this way, Facebook is kind of like, Facebook's like the cafe where you go to meet your friends. LinkedIn is like a business networking event. And Twitter is kind of like a free-for-all. Almost like if you imagine a press room where like someone's sitting on the front and everyone's, yeah, mosh pit is a good example. And everyone's like, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-hey, you know this. It's almost got that balagan sense to it, and it's really fun. Okay, next please. Facebook's fastest growing segment are females aged 55 to 60.
She's above 60.
What's that? She's above 60, sorry. She's behind the times. How far over 60 is she?
62 or 63.
People know this.
She'll be 65 in about a year.
There you go.
As far as I know, she's also on Facebook. On a fan page. Next slide, please. Twitter. So Ashton Kutcher, he's an actor. Ellen DeGeneres, also an actor, have more Twitter followers than the entire population of Ireland, Norway, and Panama.
Together or
How about Puerto Rico?
Otherwise, they wouldn't have mentioned Ellen. Everyone talks about Ashton. What's that? How about Puerto Rico? Next slide, please.
I love the countries you picked.
80% of Twitter usage is on mobile devices. So, and also Foursquare, I don't know if you've heard of Foursquare, but it's a mobile check-in application where you go somewhere and you say, I'm here, and like all your friends know where you are. So, it's, well, but think about this, One of the reasons you may want to know is, hey, let's meet up. But more and more businesses are using this as a tool, as a marketing tool. Basically, come to Starbucks, check in, tell all your friends you're at Starbucks. There are different kind of badges you can win on Foursquare, and you can become the mayor of a particular location if you're the person who checks in the most there. Now, local businesses are using this as free or almost free advertising, which is come in, check in, you become the mayor, and we give you discounts, and even just check in and we give you a discount. There's so much you can do with all of this, and people are doing it. Sorry, what's your question?
What was the name of the application?
Foursquare.
Foursquare.
Yeah.
That's an app. It's an app.
There's an app for it, but it's essentially a site. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Is that a mobile application?
Yes.
A web application.
It's a web application, but you use it on mobile devices. So yeah. Next slide, please. So YouTube is the second most popular search engine in the world.
Wow.
Contains more than 100 million videos. So after someone looks for something on Google, they're going to look for it on YouTube.
True.
Now, imagine what YouTube gives you that Google doesn't. Well, Google also gives you YouTube. Google owns YouTube. And by the way, in Google search results pages, people are more likely to click on a video thumbnail than they are to click on an article. In fact, people are there's a 64% chance that someone will finish watching a 30-minute infomercial, as opposed to 20% of people who finish reading an article. So, you need a video, you're in the right place. Next slide.
Good advertising.
Wikipedia has over 13 million articles. 78% of these are not in English. Studies show that it's more accurate than Encyclopedia Britannica, and it's created by everyone. Anyone can go on there and add your bit of information. There are certain guidelines that you have to abide by, but it's created by all of us, which is super cool.
How do you know it's right?
So there are fact checkers who work at Wikipedia, and before they let something be posted live, they will double check stuff.
Right.
So
anybody can fact check on Wikipedia. They ask
Yes.
for your info. Yes.
yes,
Worldwide.
yeah. So on Wikipedia, you
You're a
can
regular guy
upload
can
information.
fact
You
check.
could fact
Like,
check.
I found mistakes on Wikipedia. I send them this thing, and they respond. They change it if they feel that you're correct.
Who edited what. So you have a history of
Jeez.
Rabbi, the mission used to be like that, right?
Yeah, it's like a Mishnah.
But it's an
It's
ongoing
open
discussion.
ongoing
Ongoing
for
discussion.
1,000 years. Yeah.
There's this book that I heard of called The Talmud and the Internet, and I don't think it makes all those connections, but it really is like an insane place where everything can be connected. It's like your brain, how you have so many cells, but you have like millions more connections, because it's just, the possibilities are endless, if I'm making any sense. Okay, next slide, please. So there are over 200 million blogs, that's a B. 54% of bloggers post daily. And I think it's something like between 64 and 75% of people who read blogs have above average income. So let's say you're a business and you offer a service and you're looking to establish your expertise and you're looking for people who can pay you, and maybe they have above average income. A blog is a great way to get the word out that you're an expert in your field and to kind of showcase what you know. I think it was Annie Dillard, maybe I'm wrong, Joan Didion, correct me, who said you write to find out how much you know. So even if you think you don't know anything, you can kind of figure it out as you're writing. So anyway, next slide, please. 25% of search engine results for the world's top 20 largest brands are links to user-generated content. 34% of bloggers post opinions about products and brands. Now we're talking about bloggers here, but all of this happens on social media. Just the other day, you know, my friend wrote, oh, I hope nobody, well, I won't say the name of this company, but this rental car service that she used, and she absolutely hated it. Think of what that does to me. That's an impression to me. Oh, I won't ever use them. Essentially, if you're not talking about yourself online, somebody else will be. And you want to be there somehow to control that, or at least manage it. Next slide, please. 78% of consumers trust peer recommendations. Only 14% trust advertisements.
That's very important.
Yeah. So this is why social media, if you utilize social media, you're utilizing the power of the people. And people trust consumers more than they trust any message coming from a manufacturer or a service. Next slide, please. TV on the web. 70% of 18 to 34-year-olds have watched TV on the web. 25% of Americans say that in the past month they've watched a short video on their phone. So wherever you are, you can be online. Next slide, please. And on Facebook, we no longer search for the news finds us. You log into Facebook, you see your news feed, the latest news comes up. On Twitter as well. Twitter journalists go to Twitter to find what they're going to write about. Please? Yeah, I could explain what Twitter is. It might take a while. It's essentially a news feed. Okay. You follow people. Okay. They don't necessarily follow you back. That's one of the main differences between Twitter and Facebook. Is on Facebook it's mutual. On Twitter, you follow people and what they write, but they don't necessarily follow you back. Okay. And people write in 140 characters or less a status update. And when you go onto Twitter, what you're seeing is all the people you follow, their status updates in reverse chronological order. So the latest news, whether it's what somebody ate for breakfast or who killed who in Egypt. Okay. Next. Oh, sorry. Can you reverse? And soon products and services will find us via social media. I mean, that's already happening. So, next, please. The way we communicate is going through a fundamental shift. In terms of the open rates for emails, in terms of how many people open them, if you send out an email, you have a chance of between 20 and 40% open rate. For a Facebook message, you have between an 80 and 100% open rate. So if you're sending out a message to a group, you might want to make that group on Facebook and send them a message because they're more likely to open it. Yeah. Next, please. More than 1.5 million pieces of content are shared on Facebook daily. Next slide, please. Companies that are successful in social media act more like party planners, aggregators, and content providers than traditional advertisers. Next, please. So, this is my story. During college, during summers, I was a canvasser at Clean Water Action, which is like a local environmental group, and I went door to door getting people to give us money. And then after college, I did sales for a staffing agency in New York City for 3 years. And then I moved to Israel, and I met Shmuel, and I had 3 babies in a row, thank God. And during that time when I was pregnant and giving birth and everything, I decided to try doing online marketing for Shmuel's video production business. So a year and a half later, will you move to the next slide, please? A year and a half later, 2 out of 4 major clients who bankrolled our move to the US found us via social media. So I figured it works. And I started doing it for other people. Sorry, you can't read this. A 30-person fashion company, solopreneurs, and nonprofits. I've been helping them get started on social media and email marketing, blogging, and search engine optimization. And I've also been managing their campaigns. Next slide, please. I've also taught, you can't see this, sorry. I've also taught quite a few business owners how to do it for themselves. Next, please. So I teach blogging, social media marketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, and general marketing strategies and tactics. Next, please. If you want to learn more, if you want to learn more about what I teach and everything, I'm happy to put you on my email list. I send out a monthly marketing tip. So if you're interested in that or in finding about upcoming classes, you can sign up here afterward. I think we can go to the next slide. Oh yeah. So we're social animals, act your age, and get online.